Hello, this is Darnell Clark reading Tim O'Brien's The Things They Carry. Today I will be discussing this novel with
Johanna Coronado.
And fellow critic Eric Lobera.
So tell me, Johanna, what did you think of the book?
Well, when I first began reading the book, I did find it a little difficult to get into. I would say it's because I wasn't really accustomed to that style yet. It is something that you have to try to get through at first. For me, it was a little hard to get through the first 30 pages just because it became very repetitive with they carried this, they carried that. And when you first start a book, you're not really sure of the background stories. You're not sure where these characters are coming from. You're not sure of where this is heading. So for me personally, it was a little difficult, but after that, then you started to understand why he started that way. And it's in itself its own explanation for the rest of the book.
Eric, your thoughts on the book?
Honestly, Darnell, well, first off, I would like to say thank you for having me on your podcast. The Things They Carried is an interesting book. It starts out slow, but later starts getting more dramatical, more detailed, instead of how in the beginning it was repetitive, like my fellow colleague Johanna said. And it really is an interesting book and very enlightening book to where you see parts of someone's life during an important event in history, like the Vietnam War.
I like that it offered the different perspectives. He goes back and he talks about, his own experiences, and not only that, he'll also go back and talk about the experiences of these people. I think he writes it in such a fascinating way that he can also bring in the ideas of somebody else, where he gets a view of their life and he can put that in his own words. So it's almost like the person is saying it, but it's really not. It's just him. And I think it's remarkably written, honestly.
Is there any experience that really grabs your attention in this book?
I couldn't name one. There are a few. I think one of the most memorable ones is when he talks about not his best friend specifically, but one of the, I'm not sure if it's platoon members or, I forgot what that's called. I apologize. But one of his fellow comrades, they were outside playing, they were having fun, and the way it's written, you can visually see it, and it's when they were outside not remembering anything about the war. They're having a good time, and suddenly one of the guys steps on a trap, and he gets pulled up into the tree, and he writes that, and you can see the movements inside your mind. And for me, that was very visual, and it really did make me take a step back and reread it again. So I think it's passages like those that really make you think twice about what you read, so that you actually do have to go read it again, just so you can get that effect one more time, because it is just so well written.
Yeah, it's a very vivid book. Eric, any experiences that grab your attention?
Well, one of the things that really got me hooked was that all the memories of the war from Mr. O'Brien's point of view, not everything was all violence. Some stuff included between friendship, and some included beauty and love. And that's what really, I think that really got me so into the book.
Yeah, I would like to elaborate on that. It is a book based on a war. War isn't pretty. War is very gruesome and I think it's important, or it's great, that he was able to incorporate things like beauty and love in there, because besides all the chaos, there is beauty in that, and he writes that in And he emphasizes that a lot because he mentions that a lot of his war stories, they're not meant to be pretty. But he does bring some of those pretty aspects in. So